What does this one?
It's blue light.
What does it do?
Turns blue.
Do you love action but hate pinko commies?
What the?
Do you yearn for an age where we were the good guys and had clear bad guys without some deconstruction about maybe the real evil is the friends we made along the way? Simple and effective stories. Stories perfectly told. A movie that has refined its genre to the point of perfection. Not a line of dialogue out of place, not a wink to the audience. Unironic awesomeness. A movie where you ram a tank into a helicopter for no reason other than it's awesome. A movie that lets you know it's okay to bring a bow and arrow into a combat zone. Do surgery on yourself with nothing but a campfire and a knife. Well, I have the movie for you. In the age of peak Hollywood genre, with the greatest action movie ever conceived, with Oscar award-winning actor Sylvester Stallone, creating action Americana that's so good you'd swear it was propaganda. It's the pinnacle of movies if you like movies with witty banter.
Any ideas?
They're rounding themselves.
Cool one-liners.
Who do you think this man is? Good.
Oh, God, would have mercy. He won't.
Over-the-top violence, indulgent pain, and the perfect mix of mindless action and mindful characters. This is their uncle who showed up at Thanksgiving to piss off your sister who returned from university to lecture you on racism. It's the peak of action in Rambo. Rambo 3.
Who are you? Your worst nightmare.
'79T 2458 Learning Corp. Little Red Riding Hood. Take one.
And cut and start. Hey, how's it going, fellas? Look at this. I felt peachy today. We're gonna go peachy. We're gonna go full peachy. Welcome, Red Morning. As you can see, the Six and Looney Tunes will debate for food. So here's the I'll get. Actually, you know what? Do I start? Yeah, whatever. I'll start with the premise. So I had some friends over yesterday and they wanted to go see Taylor Swift, which, by the way, insane. I look at my girl's like, I wonder what the tickets cost now. And she looks it up for the seats that they're at. And I was like, you could buy a car. You could buy a car for this. You should sell these tickets and buy a car. And they're like, yeah, no, I'd rather go. Like, oh, fair enough. And then afterwards started talking about the Swift thing and the whole concert and the production. And it was it's because, like, obviously she's doing 300 shows a year. So she's doing 3 hours a show. Voices don't last like that. So it's obviously having to be like she records her stuff previously and like lip syncs it afterwards. It's a production. It's a show. And she makes like $4 billion. It's crazy how she's like, this year I'll make Oprah's net worth. You know what I mean? Insane. And look, I don't know Taylor Swift songs. The best way somebody described it to me was, hey, do you ever buy clothes? I'm like, yeah. Like, well, you're in the change room? Like, yeah. Like, that's Taylor Swift music. I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't know any of that stuff, but like as a brand thing, as like a entertainment thing, it really is peak. It really is. Like, it's worth awe. And if you're sitting here hating on it and not looking at it as in like, how do I get there? Then I think you're doing this thing wrong. And so that gets to Destiny. Destiny and the Red Pill. If you guys don't know, Destiny is a guy who used to really crappily pay StarCraft. And then StarCraft was no longer popular and the Koreans were eating his lunch. So he decided to start talking about Red Pill stuff on Twitch because that's what you do when you have nothing to do with your life. And like there's a whole bunch of lore to it. He had a wife. And then he's like, yeah, I suck dick with, and let my wife get run over by bulls. I'm cool like that. And then she divorced him and left him for some twink. And then he had a meltdown. And then he spent a year calling like me and Rolo and all the boys like immoral and stuff like that. And then it turns out he ended up sleeping with Lauren Southern. And I know this is gossipy. It's just like there's a point. I promise there's a point. If you can join me on this convoluted, gossipy journey, there is a point at the end. I promise. So Lauren Southern, the one that you kind of knew for like, she didn't like immigrants and she's Canadian and whatever. I see the super chat. We'll get to that in a second. And then I was thinking about that. And this is how my creative process works. I kind of like take like 15 things that make no sense and draw a connection because it's entertaining. Anyway, so Lauren Southern, she was like the coolest Canadian chick for the longest time there. She was the Alanis Morissette for the alt-right. And they're like, oh, she slept with Destiny a bunch. And then they released a bunch of screenshots from a Discord chat or DMs or something like that. And I remember, do you guys remember the story I was telling you? I don't know if it was last week or the week before or like every week. I don't know. The one about the girl I used to sail with. She slept with that guy, Joe. And then usually when your buddy gets laid, you're like, yeah, good job, man. And now we just looked at her. We're like, oh. So Lauren Southern had the, oh, really? You did him? Oh. And the way she was talking about it. Like, dude, it failed the Jumbotron rule on so many, like on one level, the Jumbotron level. Anyway, and so now that's the big thing right now is everybody's having a good laugh that Cuckboy, he just can't, like, oh, he accidentally did fentanyl and now he had to skip work for like a week. Oh, his wife left him for a twink and now he has to pay $200,000 worth of her debt. Oh, slept with Lauren Southern. Oh, she's being examined right now by the Canadian Senate for ties with Russian intelligence. Oh, CSIS tried to recruit, like she got like a little CIA, they tried to make her a glowy and she said, no, I'm not going to be a glowy against the Russians. And now it's just a case of these things going. And I was just like, so that's all crappy, right? That's annoying. It's why are you even talking about this? Here's my point. How much time did all of us waste? You know, you by watching guys like me or Rolo or Nuke or Jack or any of these guys, any of us, how much time did we waste diffusing and debunking this argument that he had? How much of this, guys, we're having a dog fight right here. Come on, cut it out. How much of this time did we waste arguing with this simpleton that could have been spent on anything else? It's like a Reddit post. There's this Reddit post that keeps making the rounds every now and again, which is hilarious, where somebody was like a big food critic or whatever, a big foodie guy, and they're on like the foodie subreddit, and they're arguing with somebody over some like hipster flavor profile thing. And he realized, like, I don't know, 2 days into the argument, he clicks the guy's profile and looks through and he sees he's part of like a piss drinking subreddit. And he goes, I can't believe I've just wasted 2 days of my life arguing with this guy about food, arguing with a guy who drinks his own piss. So I'm arguing with a guy who drinks his own piss, but worse, because at least that you can do the meme about, well, you got to survive, right? The guy in the woods, survive, drink your own piss. And this ties into the topic from a couple weeks back where I'm sitting here going like, there's nothing substantive or new or novel or even in depth that's come out of the red pill since arguably 2014, we'll say 2015. 2015. It's Myron's fault. He gave him clout. What? I don't think. Yeah, I'm not even going in there. Anyways, that was more of a springboard thing because I could sit here and talk about Cuckboy all day and that would be great. We all get to laugh. Look at the cuck guy. At least I'm the only one that has sex with my wife. Yeah. But that's kind of the point. It's like all of us, we're so easily distracted because we wanted audiences to love us. You know, you guys would love it if I talked to you about Cuckboy. Look at that. He likes getting it in the butt. Oh, look at that. He likes giving blowjobs. Oh, look at that. His twink wife left him. And you guys are like, yeah. And then like, I get the relationship. You guys sit here going, oh, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I hate this thing. And then if you look at the timestamp when the comments left, it's like 3/4 of the way through the video. Ugh, I'm so over this. I hate watching this. And I was like, oh, okay. So we're all just like, this side is hate producing content and your side is hate watching it. And nobody's happy and everybody's miserable. And does that sound red pill to you? Probably not. So put a pin in that. That's the point. But put a pin in that. We're going to try and do something a bit better. Andrew Tate's Romanian passport with a $5 super chat. You son of a bitch. All right, give me a sec. I'll grab it. $5 super chat. Stay astute, fellas. Oh yeah, I got to do this. 1 sec.
So the meme, they're very good. This is really, they've taken it True alpha.
Named Ryan Stone.
It says, ask Murphy about the article he wrote cuckolding his wife. Clear up the cuck article. Clear up the cuck article.
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
If I wasn't prepared to literally impoverish his entire bloodline,
I am now concerned for my career.
And I'm still recommending clear up the cuck article.
You know what? Fuck you for bringing this up. Yeah. Fuck you. Heartfelt.
I'm not going to have those guys back on my channel again. Absolutely not.
Just use a little bit of fucking common sense.
It is just...
That's great. That's you should.
Fuck you.
Sorry, apologies.
Just keep going, dude. One foot in front of the other. Before you know it, this will all be in the rearview mirror. Fuck you.
What the hell am I doing? All right, whatever. Okay. And then Mac Jerfy, also a $5 super chat. So first one's Andrew Tate's Romanian passport. Stay astute, fellas. There's a story on that. Mac Jerfy, just use a little bit of effing common sense. Yeah, I would say so. So the stay astute, I'm actually pretty impressed about that one. Somebody actually threw out some marketing advice on the Twitter, on the X, and I listened to it. It was like, dude, this is so easy. Because right now the media vibe is the we're so back, 1982, Reagan's in office, Trump took over, like that kind of stuff, right? So the whole like owning the libs is like the new clickbait thing. You're gonna watch a lot of like, look at this tard, let's go throw the football around stuff. And so I just throw like a little ditty about communists are the real idiots in the movie channel, and then on this one, some chick, I don't know what it was like episode 14 of Practical Female Psychology, the most random episode of like one of the most tepid books in the red pill sidebar, and she gave this big long diatribe basically saying she's not like the other girls, and at the end it was just, I'm shilling you. It was just so funny. It's like he's just a zealot. He's trying to convince you guys to buy the book because he's making all this money off of Practical Female Psychology because David Clare in the background, and stay astute, fellas. Like, he figured me out. The red-pilled zealot over here, you know me, the guy who just loves this space and can't wait to manipulate more young men into joining my harem. So I do what everybody does. You retweet people who make you look smart, and you block people that make you look stupid, which is the funniest strategy ever. I think it's hilarious. But in this one, I'm like, you guys will have a laugh on it. Whoa, what you doing? $4.99. See, now this is what I like. I'm going to give you a thumbs up. This is what I like. You respect the rules. Anyways, please use this to buy The Fortress on VHS. Kurtwood versus Lambert. This time it's personal. Was Fortress, isn't that the one with Sean Connery? Hold on a second here. Am I mistaking this for something else? They made a 2021 version? Jesus. All right, The Fortress came out in 1992. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Oh, it was just Christopher Lambert and Kurtwood Smith. So what the hell one is the Sean Connery one then? It's a good question. All right. I do vaguely remember this. I have to watch it again. Having said that, I've already got like the next 3 or 4 movies lined up. Like I've got Gattaca recorded. I just have to do the video for that one. The one after that's going to be Flash Gordon. And then after that, I think I'm going to do Stargate. The Stargate movie is just a classic. It's like Zorro. It's one of those ones that was just like, had it been marketed slightly differently or come out at a slightly different timing, it probably would have been one of those movies that's like a super classic right now, but for some reason just never caught on as well as it should, even though it's spawned like 10 TV series. There's like Stargate, Care Bear World, Starbait Atlantis, absolutely crazy. Yeah, and there's Bloodsport too. I told you I'm trying to avoid the easy low-hanging fruit right now. No, I'm not thinking The Rock. There was one where Sean Connery, on the cover of it, it's him with a shotgun dressed like a prison guard. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name of that one right now, but whatever. Yeah, I know Connery and Lambert was in Highlander. There's oftentimes, though, sometimes actors do more than one movie together. All right, fine. I'll see what I'm talking about. Oops. Can't be too hard to find anyway. Did you know he used to be a bodybuilder, by the way? Absolutely crazy. I'm drifting. I get it. I'm drifting, but we'll get back to it. It's just you guys got me on this stupid kick now for The Damned movie. Highlander, Sword of Valiant, Never Say Never, Time Bandits. Outland. That's the one I'm thinking. On Jupiter's moon, he's the only law. Yeah, that's the one. I don't remember that one. Anyway, so yeah, back to, would that be Untouchable? No. Untouchable. Yeah, we'll do that on the Cynthia Rothrock retrospective. Sean Connery. Anyways, back to the thing. And this is why I think money kind of messed everything up. As soon as there was a chance of making money, not even so much money, but clout. I think there was a real theater kid desire to be like famous or known or, oh wow, look at that. That's Myron Gaines. Look at that. That's Pearl Davies. Look at that. That's the stupid Spurgio kid. Wow, that's Jack Murphy. And the reason I say it's not for money is because you watch these guys and a lot of them are just selling out after like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is not like that's a normal salary. That's like a middle class salary. Like nobody's gonna sell out for their email job. Nobody's selling out for first year law school, but you know this is, the Red Pill does. And Grant, it can say like, oh, they're not real Red Pill, and they're not. I mean, they're not. When you say that too, it's not like there's some kind of club that you gatekeep. You know, when they say real, not Red Pill, it's essentially just aren't adhering to Rule 0. You're not here for the right reasons, because that was really the only rule that everybody could agree on. I remember this when it was like 2013. Everybody was arguing over what the Red Pill is. Is it about traditional values? Is it about this? Is it about this? And like everybody disagreed on everything. You should never cheat. You should cheat. It should be about Jesus. It's not about Jesus. It's different in India. It's not different in India. It's like 1,500 guys with 1,500 different opinions, and everybody's wrong, and everybody's yelling at each other. Nothing's getting done, and nobody's getting laid. Absolutely wonderful. Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. So the only thing we could agree on is like, as long as you're here for male sexual strategy and a positive male identity. That was really like, that was kind of like, how do you even lift? Like lifting is the only thing we can all agree on. Lifting and Rule 0. Especially because like the Red Pill subreddit and the Married Red Pill subreddit back in the day hated each other. There was very little cross-contamination. My only flex, and it's a Reddit flex, so like it's not a flex, but it's look, just take it for what it's worth. All right. I'm not gonna, I did a Reddit post one. Like I'm not that guy. The big thing was I was like the only guy who was able to be a moderator. Well, yeah, for the most part, a moderator on both. An endorsed contributor on both, kind of like didn't fall into the whole, I'm going to start some shit and I hate these guys and these guys hate me. Like none of that crap. So I guess I could just say is like an objective thing. But I mean, as far as flexes go, that's right above like, hey, I woke up on time this morning and made it to work without being late. It's like, why would you flex about that? So I get it. But yeah, so then the Rule 0 thing came through on the Red Pill. And to be fair, too, it came right at the end of, there was this incel who managed to get on the mod team for a brief period, which is, I'm pretty sure, why Sexual Utopia and Power went onto the sidebar, which is, again, the only thing on the sidebar, which I'm like, I completely don't understand why it's there. There's a few books that are on the sidebar, or a few things on the sidebar that I'm like, I don't agree with it, but I see why it's here. Some things I see why they're there, and I kind of agree with their purpose, like S for Lar, Practical Female Psychology, Glover, all that stuff. And then there's other ones like, what's that stupid one? It's so bad, I don't even remember the name of it. It's that, hold on a second here. Daniel Rose, I think it is, that one. Where's the stupid thing? Oh, did they? Oh, Way of the Superior Man by David Daida. That one there, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I don't like it, but I get it. Some men, it's the positive male identity thing. You're a noble, savage warrior. Sex God method. You're the greatest man on earth, and you need to believe you piss excellence. And it's like, all right, I get it. Sex God method. I mean, I didn't get a lot from Sex God method, but I understand why it's there, and Devi's a great concept. Free Gender, $5 super chat. Thank you for the heartfelt FU. YouTube won't let me super chat you the comment that's in your comment. LOL. I'm not sure what that one means. Hold on a sec. Let me look back for a sec. Okay, I don't think that means. Yeah, YouTube won't let me super chat you the comment that's in your comment. All right, if I need any context to that, just put it underneath. I'll keep an eye out for it. But thank you, sir. Thank you for the super chat. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, but yeah, sexual utopian power or the misandry bubble. Those are the two. I'm like, I don't get it. Because sexual utopian power and misandry bubble are both revenge fantasies, which is completely antithetical to anything in here. Yeah, it's not even that it's not like I don't like it or I do like it, but I understand why it's there. I don't understand why those ones were there. Like, why would you put this in here? It's just saying women are whores. They're getting worse. Feminism is the problem. And we've reached peak whoredom, and they're going to get their comeuppance. And it's just like, what is this shit? But then a lot of the guys, like Whisper, Human Sock Puppet, and Red Pill School were the main three on the Red Pill, the main one. And then the other one, it would have been like Ford Contour. Anyways, it's not really important. They had a Chesterton's Wall thing. Like, well, I don't know who put it there. I don't know when it was put up, and I'm not sure why. So until I know those, I'm not going to take it down, just in case. And I was like, all right, fair. But yeah, everybody asked them, like, why is this here? What is it meant to do? Nobody had an answer for it. So it's just there. And I'm pretty sure that's why it came up there from the incel guy. And that's kind of where Rule Zero came about, when they realized there's guys that just, hey, I can parrot all the talking points that you guys talk about, say what you want to hear, and then you'll give me clout. Even though it's just like a Reddit moderator duty, you'll give me clout. But it's the same thing you see now. The only difference is that guy has a fucking podcast, you know? With a GST hiatus. I'm not going political this time. I'm angry, but it's like, it's none of your business. Yeah, I did some jokes with that one. Anyways, yeah, so that was it. That was the whole point of Rule Zero. It's like, look, nobody cares if you're the most popular this or the best that, or you write the best this. It's just like, why are you here? It's intention. It's intention. Nobody gets removed for the lack of execution. It's the lack of intention. Now, is that the best way to do things? I don't know. Is there a precedent on some online thing or some movie or some group or some cult somewhere that also did that and it caused a huge downfall? I don't know that either. All I know is for now, that was the best decision that the guys made for that time, and it's paid dividends, and it still holds true. The problem is, though, it's not a rule in the sense that the Constitution is just a piece of paper, right? It doesn't mean the government, if the paper says that, I better do it. No, it's more of a rule for you as an audience member, or as a reader, as a subscriber, as whatever you want to call it, your relationship in this whole thing. It's that it's up to you to look at everything and ask yourself two questions. Is this Rule Zero, and what's in this for me? You know? If you can answer those two things honestly, and that's the key, honestly, because a lot of people will just justify, make up some horrible rationale. Well, and the common one is always Myron. Oh, but he works really hard. Like, who gives a fuck? There's a communist out there that works like insanely hard. But like, do you want to go to the mines? No. Put him in the crystal. There's an illegal immigrant somewhere that works twice as hard as you ever will. It's like, he has to go back to. Yeah, so it's just like, who cares? The labor theory of value is communist gobbledygook. Another one with the Myron one was, they were saying, yeah, but he also does financial things, and he has guests on that are good at working out. And he's got great workout advice and great, like, bro, if the mafia comes to your neighborhood during Thanksgiving and hands out free turkeys, you're like, yeah, they murder and they deal a lot of drugs and prostitution, but like, free turkeys, bro. Like, come on. And that's what I mean about honesty. Like, you got to honestly look inside yourself. What am I getting from this? What are you getting from me running my mouth in 2 hours? What are you getting from Jack about to run his mouth for 2 hours after this? What do you get from any of this? And if the answer is nothing, distraction, something to feel, then you're probably wasting your time. Now, the question is, why are you wasting your time? And the easy answer for that is because it's more comfortable than not wasting your time. Yeah, it's better than work, which, don't get me wrong, I'm entertained. Like, I've all the things I need to say, I've said. So if you're here for entertainment, I'm fine with that. Byron's physique is mid. Who's the one that said that? It's like, yeah, some 25-year-old dude's bragging, some 25-year-old ectomorph is bragging about his body. It's like, yeah, that's kind of expected. They want to see like the 47-year-old man with a six-pack. It's like, I want to learn from this guy. That's the guy that knows what he's doing, but whatever. Oh yeah, somebody who they hate the sipping sounds. I'm trying my best to sip quieter. I really am. So leave a comment how it annoys you, and I'll say some pithy shit in the back. And I know, like, you guys are more of a switched on audience. I think we've done really good work together, you and me both, in curating the kind of place that you can enjoy. Like I'm not here. I'm not pandering to you guys. In fact, I go out of my way to unpander, which I think is the method of pandering you prefer, which is a very weird thing, but whatever. Fuck it and let's roll. And then on your side, you guys like monitor the chat and the people that come in here. And for the most part, like the guys with the wrenches decide what is the kind of stuff we want to see in here and what's the kind of stuff we don't want to see here. And it's been 5 years now. And I think you guys have done a pretty good job. Like this is the least toxic, shitty, annoying, jeet-filled chat, I would argue, in the Red Pill. I've been to Rolo's channel. I've watched a video when he's talking. I've seen his chat, and I just want to like punch my screen. And I've seen Jack, like, well, Jack's smaller too, but like the bigger ones. Clary's pretty good too, but even Clary's is like, it's a different vibe. You know what I mean? That's the most neutral way I could put it. It's got a different vibe. Who does he think he is sipping? Scott Adams? Yep. Speaking of old rip guys, thanks for introducing me to Drew Bay. Oh, Drew is awesome, man. Drew is awesome. The only thing I have against him is he likes cargo shorts. But I guess everybody who works out and actually builds some muscle on their calves refuses to wear pants for the rest of their life. It's just a rule. But yeah, it's awesome. Late 50s. I think at the most he's on TRT. But he's like getting contest shape workout stuff. Which, again, that kind of leads to one of my my most honest pieces of like lifting and nutrition and workout advice I can give you. The best way to look good in your 40s is to work out in your 20s and 30s. Yeah, but what about all these things? It's like, there's just, you can't, it's the muscle density, or not the muscle density, bone density. So I don't know if you guys know this, but like working out for a long time, it adds stress to your bone, your skeletal structure. And then over time, you start to build more, but it's such a slow process. It takes years. That's why if you ever look at like older bodybuilders, ones that were like big in their 20s and then they're in their 50s now, and you look at them, even though they're like skinny now, sometimes they're even like a little bit, you know, effeminized because they probably fucked up their meds or whatever. But you look at them and they have like a Neanderthal bone structure to them. It's like that kind of stuff. It takes forever to build. Yeah, so yeah, he was natty all his life. He only did the TRT, which to be fair, he's in his 50s, isn't he? Like at that point, I get it. They come in here and see me and realize King Tart is here, so they get the fuck out. Oh, Marty. Oh, Marty. Fucking guy. Yeah, and this is, so I'm doing, it's kind of, if you've noticed too, the last, like, episode 7, this one's episode 6, they're kind of more of, like, retrospectives. Let's look back. What were the successes? What were the failures? If you don't know, this is, like, a long, so 14-hour after-action report for my 6 years, or I guess it's probably 2013. So, like, my 11 years in the Red Pill as either a hobbyist or a professional, which is a weird thing to say. It's like, don't take this as a flex at all. It's just, it's there. Free gender, $5 super chat. That's literally what John Brazilian did. Oh, he's trying to make a comeback on X, but he's getting destroyed. Oh no. Old, dude, I should almost, So I haven't done an ad with him because I have him in the same category as George Bruno, where like he would just like the attention, but at the same time, I did some Minecraft videos on John Anthony. They were pretty good. That's funny. Free gender, thank you so much for the super chat and the laugh. That's awesome. Trying to make a comeback on X. Yeah, a lot of the older faces are coming out and about again. I guess it's something to do with the election being over and they think now's their chance. Like I've seen Gay Lou Boyle and Anthony Johnson are on Substack, so I nuked them instantly. And then I saw a bunch of people that follow those guys, and I nuked them too. Like, I remember it was just the one day I click over and it's like, I just got banned by Rollo Tomasi. I'm clearly doing something right. I'm like, who the heck is this guy? I click it, follows Glow. I'm like, block him. Then somebody sent me a screenshot. Look, he's all proud of this too. He's like, yeah, look, Ryan blocked me too. Looks like I'm doing something right. I'm like, oh. So that's funny. ADJ, John Anthony, like, and Jack Murphy's back selling his dick pills or whatever, which kind of funny. Yeah, everybody's trying to come back and salvage their brands too, which I don't like. Get back in the mines. You only get one shot at this. You know this, right? Free Gender, $5 super chat again. It took me 10 minutes to figure out how to send the super chat because I had to drop his last name. Oh, I have a feeling Anthony might be on my banned list. Like, there's a bunch of words that you're allowed to cut on here. I probably have Anthony as one of those, or ADJ or something like that. Nonstop Dre, $2 super chat. Why does MLD hate you and Rich? I know he and Rich had beef. I don't know why. I don't think he hates me. I don't hate him. If he's talking shit on the internet, I don't know, it's news to me. I've always liked John. Everybody else gets a little irritated with the stuff, but what the hell did I just? Sorry, chat just disappeared there. Yeah, I don't hate him. I don't think he hates me either. But yeah, because I remember this. Like, he made his money, like, sexually, just started just crushing it. Well, I don't know how well he was doing before, but at that point he was crushing it. And then he got very off-putting, very cocky, and a lot of people found that off-putting. And I'm like, hey guys, just welcome to the red pill. What do you mean? I've even put it in frame. There's that 6 months of being an insufferable prick. And like, yeah, he carved out some success for himself. He's gonna be cocky for like 6 months to a year. Like, that's part of the process. So let him have it. He earned it. He fucking earned it. And then he'll eventually calm down and chill out and do his thing. And it's always been my take on John there. That's funny though. So yeah, I don't know. My guess, if he's doing any wrestling promo hate stuff online now on that one, it's just for some clout. So I wouldn't pay it no more mind. Him and Rich, I can't say for sure because I've never asked either one about it. But if I had to guess, I know Rich is really good at business advice. I know a lot of you guys think one way or the other about him, and that's fine. But when it comes to business and focusing on revenue generation above all else, like, there's very few people that could give you that kind of good advice. At least George Bruno's still in the game. Fuck you, Nuke. Fuck you, Nuke. Yeah, for that, I think it was just that law is a power. You know what? I'll just say one thing and then I'll leave it there. I'm not even going to say. I'm just going for what's the hell's the stupid thing? I got to look up the stupid laws because you don't have all 48 laws memorized? No, you'd think. It's called recall, not remember. 2 seconds here. I'll find it. God, these always sound so cringe looking back at them too. Surrender tact. I'm at 23 now. It's not there. Not there. Why can I not find it? Maybe it's not in this. Oh, no, it is, but it's like a sub point to something else. I technically law 1, but that's not what I'm getting at. Rich, why I abandoned the red pill Cooper? I mean, do you blame him? Do you blame him at all? His place is a shithole. The people are retarded. The only thing I don't like are people saying I'm leaving the manosphere. Like those, I'm leaving the red pill. Those videos, because it's such the stupidest, most convoluted cringe ever. Because I've seen it. Like, I saw Bulldog do it. There was some black dude I've never heard of who did it too. Bunch of people have done it. And it's always like, 2 years ago, there's a video, why I left the red pill. And it'll have like a big spike. If they normally get 20,000 views a video, it's the one that has 115,000. And then you're like, click on their videos. What do they do now? And it's the same thing. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those chicks that are like, they think feminism is cringe. But they want an abortion and they Me Too'd a guy. It's like, So you just don't like the branding. You don't like the vibes, but you still like the same content. And that's where I always just own it, man. I'm talking about sexual strategy, positive male identity, referencing Rolo. Like, if I'm not going to call that red pill, who the fuck am I lying to? You or me? Probably lying to myself. That's my way of saying I'm better than those men that I'm dick riding their content on. That makes me a better person. Toyota is putting out a Tacoma George Bruno edition equipped with a webcam in the rearview mirror and a tissue dispenser. By the way, thank you so much for the super chats on the last episode. I was not wrong. Like, the video didn't even wait till the end. Usually at the end of a live stream, it has to process it for a bit. Then it lets you know if there's any terms of service violations or anything like that. It was like 2 minutes after the George Bruno dropping the slurs that the big X went down. Not even the yellow, hey, just so you know, we got to be careful who we advertise this. They did the big red one. It's like, no money for you. Shut up. You why would you put this online? And I'm like, sorry, YouTube, but I made a decision and I owned it. So thank you, by the way. Your super chats on that one got me through. I was able to afford dog food for the week. The dogs survived another week, and it's all thanks to you guys. Still finished on a DHS watch list. Jesus. Johnny Trejo, $4.99 super chat. Good morning, couch. Good morning to you, Johnny Trejo. The J's are silent in Hispanic, by the way. This is for your Cynthia Rothrock retro retrospective on the movie channel. Oh, dude. And that's the thing, too. Like, I was never the biggest Cynthia Rothrock fan, but I always knew about her. Like, I was always bigger into Billy Blanks. But, I mean, Cynthia's no slouch. When it comes to, if you wanted a blonde chick on the movie and it was a Hong Kong action, like, that's who you get. She's the Michelle Yeoh of Michelle Yeoh of white people. And that scene where she's, like, fighting Stryker in Indomitable, I think it's called, or Untouchable, where he gets the hook in the eye. It's like, it's been memed for forever. There's like the controversy of when Sonya Blade came out from Mortal Kombat and she ended up suing Midway because, dude, you basically stole my brand and then you called it your own thing and I didn't see a dime of that, so fuck you. And I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. And it's a funny thing, the only movies of hers I haven't seen, like I remember the China O'Brien series. It's been forever since I watched them, but there was this one she did with Jackie Chan and I cannot remember the name of it and I haven't watched it yet and it's on my to-do list and I really should. But she's always been pretty good at stuff. And that's why I always found the original Mortal Kombat so much better than the new one. It's, again, this is a digression. I get it. Because the old one was like a very campy throwback to all the 80s stuff you liked. Like Raiden was Big Trouble in Little China, Lightning. Cynthia Rothrock was the Sonya Blade character. There's obviously your generic Bruce Lee thing with Liu Kang. And it was like a whole bunch of little throwbacks and stuff. The Johnny Cage that's Van Damme. Don't tell me Johnny. He even did the nut punch. Like, come on. All this stuff was a huge throwback to the stuff. And then they changed it now to some convoluted Netflix special plot line. And you're just like, why did you ruin this? It needed to be campy. But whatever. Yeah, Rich is doing fine. Doing he likes putting out more car vids, I think. Good on him. And I think he put it himself best. He's like, hey, when I started this, my hair was brown. And his hair now, it's white as shit. It's like, that's what branding does to a motherfucker, TFM did say the red pill got co-opted by pickup artists. They've always been about the truth. We're about women. It's not about the truth either. That's the thing. The turd flinging monkey, assuming is what you mean by TFM. It's never been about the truth either. That's what a lot of like the guys who call themselves MGTOW or Black Pill or whatever they want to use as their name. But they have generally the same problem, because I think this is like a human problem, not so much a red pill specific problem. Is that once something becomes popular, people join it specifically for the popularity, not so much for the subject matter. Nobody was a Van Halen fan, and then everybody became a Van Halen fan, and the only people that pissed off was Van Halen fans. You know what? Everybody loved the Smashing Pumpkins, and then the worst thing to happen to Smashing Pumpkins fans was everybody liking the Smashing Pumpkins. I mean, nobody liked the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but then they got super famous, and they're like, hey, singing about the music industry is wild, man, and they're greedy. It's like, holy thanks, man. Aerosmith's like, Foo Fighters, hey, it'd be great. Let's do 500 theme songs for college. I always love that Queens of the Stone Age quote where they're like, they're the Taco Bell of rock music. They have the 5 different ingredients and they just combine them in different ways and give it a fancy title. Nonstop Dre, $2 super chat. What would your fatality be in Mortal Kombat, Couch? Honestly, I gotta go with like a nut punch. I think it's like the best. And none of this like, oh, super gory and stuff. Just literally the nut punch. Or if I had to do a second one, I would steal from Bolo Young in TC. I think it's TC 2000, or was it either TC 2000 or Tiger Claws? I can't remember which one it was, but where he has to like, he does like this palm strike into a panel of wood or metal or whatever, and like explodes a watermelon on the other side, but like a nut punch of that. I think that would be awesome. We got Null with a €10 super chat. Hi, Ryan. It's nice to see you live again. Null, it's nice to see you live again, too. I will admit, you're one of like the 50 or so guys that I always recognize the username on here. There's always a bunch of guys that you guys may think it's like, oh, I'm just randomly doing. I actually do. If I see you enough, I tend to know who you are. Yeah, you're the best. Always a pleasure. No, sir. You're the best. You're the best. And I mean that. Heartfelt. Dark Knight Dev, $5.69 super chat. Ryan, back in your old man's day, they had 7 TV channels in 2024, where in the same place, Netflix, Amazon, Disney. I watch YouTube more than cable. Yeah, me too. But it wasn't even 7 channels. Dude, in Canada, there was 3 channels. Because I remember the TVs only went up to 13. But we had CBC, we had whatever your local channel was, and then there was like one other channel that always had like French cartoons on it. I don't remember what it was, but that was like it. And I think maybe there was like one NBC affiliate because we were close to the border, so you can get your antenna just right. But yeah, there was like 3 channels. In 2024, we're in the same place. Yeah, Netflix, Amazon, Disney. You know what these are? What they actually are is anybody old enough to remember Xbox Media Center? Like for the original Xbox? Somebody figured out how to hack the original Xbox consoles, and they put a media center onto it. And it had its own front page. It would download all your movies. And they eventually got the technology to the point where it would get, like you had to organize your own thumbnails and stuff in it. So what somebody had the great idea of doing at Netflix back when they were still renting out DVDs was like, hey, let's just take Xbox Media Center and sell it as a service. And that's what these all are now. They're all just Xbox Media Center. But the problem is you don't get to curate your list anymore. They get to curate the list for you, which sucks because everybody's list sucks. Because everybody has a specific taste in movies that they like. And Netflix used to be that company that they would like know what you like, and they would make things based on that. Like I remember that was the big selling point on House of Cards was they found out that everybody who loved watching movies with what's his face, the actor that diddled the kids. And they also loved that old show House of Cards it was like a British thriller TV show. So they made a TV show with that guy and this thing. It was basically giving the people what they want. And it was like really great and it was awesome. I don't know what happened there. They either hired an LMIA recipient or a woman or something like that. And then they're just like, let's just rehash old shit. Yeah. But yeah, it was definitely a different time when we all had the same things to watch. There was very little choice. But I don't mind where we are now with there's too much abundance of choice. Like I wouldn't have a career here if that wasn't the case. So I'm grateful for that. At the same time, it just comes with its own challenges. The challenges back then were gatekeeping, getting the best people into their content because you had to, because there's only 3 channels and you lose to that guy unless you make something better. Now the difference is the idea of curation and gatekeeping, that's a consumer activity. So you guys have to curate what it is that you ingest. And it's important. I see you, stripper. I'll get you in a sec. It's important too because it's not just because I only want to watch things I enjoy. I want to watch things that I find, good. Or hate watch something. But it's more so once somebody fills your head with an idea, you now have to frame everything around that concept of an idea. And this is one thing that I think the Red Pill has been very good at over the years. And I don't want to give credit to the ass models of Instagram that are on there like showing their whole ass on the whatever podcast or whatever. But I would argue it's mostly like the Rolo types, the whisper types, the guys, nameless, faceless, you never know, but they managed to make something that went viral, like the How to Get Laid Like a Warlord from Maddie and Non that ended up on Netflix. You get enough of these out there and people start to catch on to the mimetic potential. And that was the good thing about it, is that you get enough of the ideas out there, and then people have to frame their behaviors based on it. It's the same as, I guess, I need a politics example because it's the only one I think is going to be universally known. Do you remember when the J.D. Vance got nominated to the American vice presidency or whatever? Like, he was going to be Trump's guy. And then the Waltz and Harris people were like, let's call him weird. And then they called him weird. And that's the point, is that they anchor the conversation about him being weird. So either you can say he is weird, or you can reject it saying, no, he's not weird. But now the whole conversation's about him being weird as opposed to anything else that he wanted to talk about. Because, like, why would I talk about his stance on immigration? That has nothing to do with the weird accusation. And that's the popular one right now. So that's what we got to do. And that's for a lot of things. That's what it is. You know, what's the standard double bind? These are called narcissistic double binds, by the way. You'll get them a lot in relationships if you have no frame. The classic example is, when did you stop beating your wife? Like, there's no answer to that, because now every answer you give is framed around the idea of beating your wife. And the thing is, if you say beating your wife 3 times, that's all anybody can think about, is like this guy beating his wife. Even if he didn't do it. He hasn't done it. He has no intention of doing it. Didn't think of doing it. Doesn't like it when people does it. All of the good stuff, right? But that's all you get, is those 2 statements, beating wife and that guy, in your head. And then what happens? Source amnesia. You start forgetting the whole conversation, but you got those 2 things in your head. Wife beating and buddy. That's how Me Too ended up doing a lot of its damage too. Because you throw 500 accusations at somebody, even if they're all proven wrong, in everybody's mind, that's the only 2 points they're going to remember. All I remember is Me Too and Nelly. Like, Jesus, that's horrible. And that's why they do it. But that's the whole frame thing, right? You have to just, it's a very difficult skill. And one of the side effects of talking about frame, that the benefit, I would argue, at least I've had it from me, I'm hoping you guys have had it for you, is that when somebody gives you a framing device like that, you learn to reject it outright. Now, you asked 3.5 weeks ago, why is it that people are going online that you barely talk about, having these 2-minute rants calling you a bundle of sticks and a complete fucking moron? This is kind of why. Because these are narcissistic. Like, if you're doing it manufactured as a brand, that's one thing. You try to use a framing device, you reject the framing device, you move on. If you're doing it on a personal level, it's somebody who's has a element of narcissism to it, unhealthy, pathological narcissism. And then they lead off with their narcissistic fantasies, which function as a framing device. And if you reject that framing device, it considers it an attack on the person's identity, which comes across as a narcissistic injury, which again turns into narcissistic rage. And that's how I get 5-minute videos of Andrew Tate or George Bruno calling me a fucking moron. Like the Tate one. The whole reason he was ranting about that, it wasn't because he doesn't like me or I'm showing him the truth. It's because at the time, he was trying to make his bones talking about some beef he had with some guy, Colty Bra, where he's like, yeah, we sent the war room to threaten this place. The idea is like, I'm a real G gangster. I want people to believe that I'm like a mafia hitman. And I just rejected it. I'm like, this is just pro wrestling. It's bullshit. Now, he would love it if I'd argued for it or against it, but just disregarding it. And that's why it caught his attention like that. And you're like, oh, but it was just like a wrestling promo thing. Yeah, it's true, but he chose to comment on it. And a lot of the times, medium is the message. That he chose that specific, like, he got a bunch of super chats. That he chose that one to go on a 45-minute rant tells you. It wasn't because I'm hot shit. It wasn't because we have crazy beef. It's because narcissistic injury. I attacked the identity. Same thing with Bruno. He's sitting there trying to make nice, offer apologies, say he's a better person. And I'm just like, to me, he's just always the guy who tries to dox people and is a fucking retard boomer. He's not wise, he's stupid. And I kind of like disregard most of his attempts for things. And that's why he has that fucking freak out. Stripper, $5 10-cent super chat. Searching for truth here is like trying to find truth in a Bob Vila cabinet manual. Chill out, Plato. By the way, nice reference. If you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure that's what he's referencing. There was a Rule Zero dad. He didn't do many of them, but he did this one great essay. I don't get a chance to reference it nearly enough. It's like, don't hate Bob Vila. And he was making a reference, can't remember the other guy. Hold on a second here. There's a second guy, and I can't remember his name, so I have to look this up. Luckily enough, it's like, he doesn't do many posts. It's very easy to find. There it is. Written manuals, heuristic, born out of experiences, many men, loosely supported by evolutionary psychology. It's called the... Actually, that's a really good paragraph. I'm just going to read this one, because I like it on its own merits. Sexual strategy, praxeology, as it currently exists, is a set of written materials and heuristics, rules of thumb, born from the experience of many men and loosely supported by evolutionary psychology and biology. It's called the red pill, but that term has been bastardized by truth and men's rights to render it confusing and almost meaningless to people new to the concept. That was 5 years ago, man. Or wait, yeah, that was 5 years ago he wrote that. Just something to think about. You're like, oh, it's gone to hell now. It was hell 5 years ago, and there's probably another one of these 5 years before that. Lazy pussies. Oh, and then he brings up like men are lazy for the most part. They just want to problem solve quickly and efficiently. Tools can be used to build elaborate gazebos or soapboxes, since some men would rather others wield the hammer. In steps Bob Vila. That's the one. Yeah, so his Bob Vila statements: respect the hustle, masculinity will not be monetized, Bob's a natural builder, fuck this guy, he learned it from us. And then people are just mad that somebody else gets to have it easier than they had it. Which, and I've kind of tried to keep this in mind because I fall for it the same as everybody. I liked the idea of somebody having to like scan through 500 blogs and 10 years of Reddit posts and pull out, like the same way I researched the book. Like if you guys had gone through that process, you'd have been great right now too. But it's like, dude, there's a Bob Vila out there who's going to spoon feed you exactly what you need with no muss, no fuss. And you'll get it very efficiently. And he's going to make a living off of that. So just stop hating on Bob Vila for building the house. Sucks how you had to build your house before Bob Vila. But yeah. Anyways, it was an interesting thing. So I was assuming that's what the Bob Vila reference was about. Couch is so good, he watches his own shows nonstop. Dre. That is not true. I don't watch my own shows. To be fair, the one thing I do... Okay. You guys don't know this. I don't watch the Manosphere for that exact same reason I talked about. I don't want any type of framing devices used. I don't want the idea of even like Troy or Rolo or MLD John. I don't want any of those guys having some concept that now I have to have in my head and work around, because if Troy talks about black pill doomers, this and that, and their opinion on this, doesn't matter what I do after that, I will now have that idea of that anchor point of black pill doomers and criticizing their stupid takes as part of the creative process. And I don't want that. I've worked very hard at keeping my stuff as unique as possible. And I don't like the idea of deep fried red pilled content that 6-year-olds chasing a soccer ball in a match and we're all on the same points. Like, oh, Brittany Renner is such a hoe. And then I watch that and now I have to say something about Brittany Renner. And I'm like, I don't want to. Like, my Brittany Renner take has been, for the most part, just her with Tate wearing a Santa Claus hat saying, fuck you, Ryan. And I thought that was just fucking wonderful. But I don't know anything about her beyond that, and I don't want to, because that would ruin what happens here. And it's the same for you guys. If you're watching Destiny streams, take down the red pill because you're like, this guy's such an idiot. This is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. His point's not to disprove red pill anything, in so much as his role in life is to take it in, like literally take it in both holes. Which, whatever, I don't judge, but damn, privacy, man, privacy. You don't want to Snowden your asshole. That's all I'm saying. But the problem is now, by watching all this stuff, now he's created framing devices, multiple framing devices, run his mouth, let you know, and now everything you look at has to be through the lens of a guy who basically drinks his own piss. That's the metaphor. Drinking your own piss. Now the drinking your own piss guy is your take into male sexual strategy dynamics. Well, I don't believe it. Yeah, but you're accounting for it. And that's the problem. Your wife will do that too. Well, and they'll always try to like meet you in the middle or compromise or just have you acknowledge things. And as soon as you acknowledge those things, you're entering into their frame. And that's why a lot of red pill guys come across as very stubborn and very ornery and very irritable, because yeah, it's just like, I'm rejecting this frame outright. I refuse to acknowledge it. And you can either accept accept my framing device, or you can not, but this will only end one way. Like, if you disregard my framing device, you're going to disregard me in any relationship standpoint that we have. And it's one of those meta lessons that I hope people take from this stuff. But the thing is, you don't spell it explicitly, and so you have to accept that most people probably aren't going to get it. It's a writing thing I've learned, and Nick taught me that too. Like, I kind of knew it, but I didn't really know it until he showed it to me, where it's like, yeah, if you, in books, it's nice to make inferences and people will like understand it, but you have to make it explicit or people will miss it. And it's not because they're stupid. It's because you're in your head and you know what you're trying to say. But they're on the page. They know what you actually said. So if you don't make it explicit, you're expecting them to be a mind reader, which they aren't. And so I'm like, oh, okay, so it's just your expectations of how much inference people can make is way too high, and you have to calibrate it. It's like, that's good. It's not that people are stupid. It's that you're expecting the impossible. I get it. So yeah, I don't even watch my own shows. I don't want to be influenced by my bullshit. Other than my thumbnails. I love my thumbnails. The newest one caught me. And this is the whole Destiny thing is why I kind of like this idea of Bugs Bunny wearing a dress and a wig, arguing with the Roadrunner, and like will debate for food. Because I couldn't imagine sitting here watching, and no offense to him, he's a nice enough guy. We've never had beef. I can't stand his content, like from a branding perspective and from like a peer perspective, but I'm not going to stand in his way of his happiness. People clearly like watching him smoke and shit on whores. Or sorry, women. Yeah, the Wilson. Like, I'm not going to watch 500 Wilson debates. I was in one for like 30 minutes and I was like, that's enough. I'm over it. Because it's just a series of framing devices. That's it. That's all it is. He will flat out. The one thing I don't like about it is he is better at it than most in that he doesn't just like trade barbs. Most people, they fight back and forth. They sometimes even talk ideas if they're really good at it. But for him, it's just flat out ignoring. Like, stop talking. I'm trying to soapbox on this argument here. Like, you don't even exist. You just make some mouth noises. I got it from here. Now, this is all like branding stuff too, but it applies. It applies in our lives. You ever had a wife who's like not even talking to you? She's talking at you. Even in my life, like, there's been some very wholesome examples of the girl, and she's just like, ask me some question, and it's like, look up. Like, have you seen this? And it's like in my hand, and I'm staring at her, and I'm holding it out. Like, have you seen this? I'm like, look up. Oh. A lot of times people aren't talking to you. They're talking at you, and they're not being observant. They're not paying attention. And that's, again, from branding perspectives, it sucks because it's framing devices. But in your real life, it's true, too. You do it sometimes. Just not being in the moment. You don't even look up from your phone. You know, stuff like that. And we all do it, but you just got to be aware of it and make your effort to not do it. Now, this is advanced stuff. If you have like a crappy dead bedroom, if you're a dude who's not getting laid and has no dates, if you think you're dating plates but just one girl and she's dating 3 other guys and you're dating nobody, you're not in a position that any of this stuff matters at all. You have more functional nuts and bolts problems about getting laid, being attractive, not being unattractive, running dread, having frame, stuff like that. Once you got all this stuff out of the way is when you have to start worrying about these higher order things, which I find them fascinating. I wish everybody was there. And if everybody was there, I would argue that red-pilled stuff would have been way more advanced from 2015 to 2025. The last 10 years wouldn't have been the lost decade. Because then it would have been a bunch of guys doing like wife jack meme stuff. Hey, you have frame, your sex life in here. Let's talk about these things. Let's talk about these things. Let's share notes about this. Let's make an argument. How many blowjobs is too many? Like, I make fun of that post so much, and it is funny, and it's meant to be funny. But imagine if that was the actual discussion here, where guys are like, yeah, I'm getting too many blowjobs. That's weird. Should I take something from this? And there's some old Evo Psych pickup stuff. It's not really important here, but I mean, like, the low-hanging fruit is gone. Let's talk about the high stuff. And it'd be probably specific and niche, but you know, you never know what would come out of it. I just think as the last 10 years, it would have been a much better use of everybody's time than sitting here yelling at Rollo fucking Tomasi. Which, by the way, I'm hilariously happy that he's getting his come up, like, or he's getting, no, it's not just desserts. It's not comeuppance. Other people are getting their comeuppance, and he gets to enjoy it. I think I'm enjoying his like petty arc right now, where he's like, I fucking told you. Ask me now, believe me later. All these people were, and it's like it's been the thing for as long as I've known the man. Somebody talks mad shit about Rollo, and then at the end of it, you find out Rollo is a normal, well-adjusted man, and they are fucking retards. And it always comes out. Anthony Johnson did that. Called him a traitor, called him a Jew, blah, blah, blah. Comes out, he's an insane swamp kid. Lived with his parents, had no money, knocked up a stripper or something like that. And now he's stuck in his little swampland with his kids, pretending that he's like the pinnacle of man. Gailey Boyle, same thing. And now we're just adding 2 more to the list of people that, like, he was right. They run up the flagpole by, like, Destiny and Lauren Southern and them, calling him a cock and Brittany Venti. And now you're like, oh, they were some weird, sex positive, sex cult Russian asset. What the fuck is, like, it's at the point that their goofiness is so goofy that I can't talk about it other than here. I can't tell friends, oh, what happened to you? Oh, some coworkers I did are in the Senate right now talking about Russian interference. But meanwhile, somebody released the chat messages of them loving bum sex. It's like, oh, that's great. Anyway, pass the salt. It's like, yeah. Dark Knight Dev, $10 super chat. The real debate in the USA is not abortion, immigration, or the economy. It's people arguing over creamy mac and cheese with a roux or Southern style egg and milk that cuts like a cake. I like the Southern. Oh, that's funny. I know what you're talking. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Southern style egg, where if you set it slowly, I'm assuming, where you set it slowly, it's like a custard, a French custard. Which, if you don't know, that's what you're talking about. It'll be eggs and cream. You whip it together, and then you cook it on low heat, and it sets. And that's where you get. Although I could also see it being similar to a. Not a custard, but a what's the other word? Quiche. So like a mac and cheese quiche. Is that what it is? You'll have to let me know. But yeah, creamy mac and cheese is a bechamel. So it's a French mother sauce, which is, I think it's hilarious, by the way. The black guy cooking in the States is like arguing over 2 distinct French schools of thought over the custard or the Spanish tortilla, the quiche, or the French the French bechamel mother sauce of cheese with the Kraft dinner. Which one's better? I mean, they're different. I think that's the large thing too. A lot of people arguing about stuff that's just different. Apples are better than oranges. Oranges are better than apples. Okay. So? There's very few things that are objectively better or worse when it comes to subjective things like food and cuisine. Unless you're talking about execution. So like, yeah, a creamy mac and cheese made properly versus a crappy mac and cheese that's made poorly. Absolutely. But you're going to get very few apples to apples debates on stuff like this. Nonstop Dre, $2 super chat. Why do people call it beef when 2 people disagree? I don't even know. My guess is it something to do with like the Agent 99 Get Smart series from like the 60s? Or like, where's the chief? And then there was an ad that made fun of it. It's like, where's the beef? But I could be wrong. I don't know the etymology of it. If you guys know in the chat, do let me know. So yeah, that's a good question though. Creamy mac and cheese. So if you want a bechamel mac and cheese, or do you want a quiche / custard mac and cheese? Yeah, I just think they're too different. It's like having Rice Krispies for breakfast and then Rice Krispie Squares for breakfast. It's like, can't really compare them. A lot of times you can ask them a question. They will tell you how they feel about the question as the answer to it. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. And once you see it, though, and that's kind of like, this is why there's been a lot of lawyers in the red pill, and I actually kind of appreciate it because they help you in the way that they frame these discussions, like these talks back and forth. Like, here, I'll give you the link to it. You can read it yourself if you want to. It's good. It's good. Here's the Bob Vila one I was talking about. Beef goes back at least 100 years. Oh, okay. Well, I'm assuming they probably called it Auroch in the 1500s, but then they just called it beef after they destroyed the breed. But here, it's the angry at Bob Vila thing. It's, as a lawyer, he looked at it and he realized, like, this is the argument. He boils things down to their core. And ultimately, that's a skill you kind of need to develop when it's not the skill like sexual strategy, male sexual identity. It's the skill in the same way that OODA loops are. It's the same skill in that being able to write a good field report is. They're enabling skills. They enable you to more effectively pursue Rule 0. Being able to write proper field reports. That means you're able to think what you're doing, self-reflect on it, cut away the ego, cut away the bullshit, realize when you're lying to yourself, understand the subtext of what you're saying. And subtext's a crazy good skill when it comes to game. But it's like Danielson washing the car, painting the house. He didn't know he was learning karate, but he kind of was. And that's the same thing, being able to break these things down, especially in relationships. They're not as hard because most of the time when you see you're having this argument, you're not having an argument about the thing. You're having an argument because your wife is hungry and in a bad mood. You're having an argument because she fought with her mother on the phone and then she's bringing that fight to you because she's still in a fighting mood. Or Shark Week next week, Aunt Flo's coming over. Or she's just not attracted to you and she doesn't want to sleep with you. But you can't admit that to yourself because that makes you a bad wife. That's bad identity. Can't have that. So you have to make it about something else. And that's when you realize, when you boil down a lot of the relationship strife or the just sexual strife or any of this stuff, the argument's not what the argument's about. And once you boil it down to its core, you realize this. You realize, okay, so it's not about me. It's the hormones. It's the hunger. It's sexual attraction. And then when you realize it's not about you, they're not attacking your identity. They're not making you defend yourself. And that kind of enables you to realize, like, I don't have to defend myself. She's cranky. Is she right? You've done that mental work already. That's what the field reports are for. You never take me out anymore. You ask yourself, do I take her out? I do. I do take her out because I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. You do that mental tally in your head. You're like, yeah, this has no bearing. You're not, and then you don't allow it to be as a framing device. So you don't even address it. No. You're just in the house, you make a sandwich, you throw it at her. Here, have a sandwich, relax, chill out. Then later off, she's like, hey, I'm sorry I was so cranky. I was just so hungry. And thank you so much for the sandwich. You're like, all right, whatever. Dark Knight Dev again. Oh boy, we're bringing up the Thomas Jefferson stuff, eh? Thomas Jefferson is in hell. Watching slaves argue over mac and cheese was not on my timeline in 2024. Oh, wait, I was thinking Ben Franklin. Funniest thing, by the way, the American founders, that Ben Franklin slept with, he was like the biggest womanizer ever. He's like the first national leader pickup artist. He was fucking French chicks while they were having the revolution to learn about how to do one in the States. He went to the States, did one, slept with so many slaves. And then the joke was like the Key and Peele sketch where they were talking about like 21andMe. And like white people are like, hey, I found out I'm related to Napoleon. And I found out I'm related to Mark Twain. But every black guy was like, Benjamin Franklin. And then the idea was he slept with so many of his slaves that like every black person in the States had like a relationship with Ben Franklin. Makes me laugh. Yeah, praise God and pass the billable hours. Yeah, so if you can get to that, if you can at least get to that. Oh, was it Thomas Jefferson? Okay, I thought it was Ben Franklin. But yeah, Thomas Jefferson then. Same thing. So thank you, Dev. You got it right. I got it wrong. Ben Franklin slept with the chicks in France. Thomas Jefferson slept with the chicks in the South. Got it. Look, I'm Canadian. The fact that I got this close to correct on American stuff is a pretty impressive feat. The fact that I know more about Thomas Jefferson than Louis Riel, I'm just saying. Just saying. But yeah, being able to break this stuff down when you're watching a content creator arguing. And this is like, I would argue it's a giant failure. And there's been some system-wide red-pilled failures in the past, which have happened, absolutely have happened. And the smart guys learn from it and move on. Like, I'll give you an example. The whole like ass model of Instagram thing happening now. Back before, there was the red pill, there was the married red pill, there was the red pill women, and then there was purple pill debate and blue pill, like all these places, right? So all these different little subreddits, and the red pill women and the red pill, and there was a couple others, and they all kind of had like an umbrella. The same guys ran both of them. The girls kind of just did their own thing, but the guys had veto power at the top. They got into some big conflict over nothing. From what I remember, one of the chicks thought that these guys, they're just trying to groom us into being harem chicks. And then the guys are like, these chicks are just trying to be like every other feminist take over a space kind of thing. Had a big beef. The women, and here's how you know women can't make a red pill space. So what did the girls do here at this disagreement over fundamentals? They deleted everything. They nuked every valuable piece of information for the women that they could find. They sanitized the entire thing. There is a lot of like really good advice for women, from women to women, about women's needs that is just gone now. because somebody was feeling fucking cranky that morning. It's kind of interesting when you think about it. The best one I can remember of that is they were pointing out why guys can't give advice to women. Like, yeah, stop trying to advise these women because you don't know. And it was a thing about male thirst, which I guess was more fascinating to guys. But the idea was that guys learn to like what we get, not to get what we like. So if you were in high school and like goth girls took an interest in you, all of a sudden goth girls became the best type of girl. If all you ever slept with was the cheerleaders, then the cheerleaders, that's like a real woman. And it was just whatever guys got when they were growing up became their thing. Like, this is what a real woman is. It's like, yeah, that's what was available to you back then. Almost no men have the options to have a broad selection. So that's why there's very few guys that have like and that's also why you see the guys that are most sexually successful are kind of like the most misogynistic, according to the news. Because like, yeah, I've seen all the women. It's fine. I get it. Yeah, Coach is 99% American conservative. I might as well be at this point. The only difference is my girl cleaned up the dog shit and didn't leave me over it. So I guess that makes me a good Canadian American conservative. Ben was an old dude when he was in France as well, if we're talking about the same time. I don't know specifically. I just remember he was like a womanizer. So yeah, stop being angry at Bob Vila. You know what I haven't done in a while? We haven't made fun of anybody. Here, sorry, I was so in my own thing. Here, fuck Matt Walsh.
I don't usually post pictures of my kids online, but they're infants and you can barely see them, so, you know, it's fine. But a YouTuber named Ryan Stone tweeted, showing off the F trophies for clout. So the babies are trophies that I'm showing off. It's perhaps not a surprise that a picture of a proud father would be so upsetting to the sort of man who clearly never had one.
BTFO, is that like beat the fuck out? Is that what that stands for? Like, I know it means like you got pwned. I just assume BTFO is something like that. I didn't really know. Okay, so where we leave off? Let me get back. Sorry, one sec. I gotta find my timer on this thing here. How are we doing for scheduled times? Hour 12. Oh, tons of time. We're doing good. Yeah. So that's the questions, like adding this stuff together. And the one thing I will admit is like this pivot I'm doing now to fiction, which it's a slow, protracted one, but I'd rather do it that way. Like if you're going to do it properly. It's not really leaving the manosphere or leaving the red pill anyway. It's more so just doing it differently. I am really psyched about this one. I think you guys will like it too. And then if this works well, the second one will work even better. Maybe it blows up and I'm sitting here having to talk about fucking incels the rest of my life. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, that would be so embarrassing. All of this hype and then just like... Hey, that's the guy that talks about Star Wars and guys' dicks. Yeah, that's me. It's nice to meet you. Pass the salt. Oh, man. How do you not love this stuff? Franklin wrote a letter to a younger guy advising to take older women as mistresses as to looks. All cats are gray in the dark. Oh, that is hilarious. I'm going to put that Ben Franklin quote up there with like the Plato, how everybody think he was, and then how he actually was. Because I guess he was like a jacked dude. He used to wrestle people, and everybody thinks of him as like this quaint little intellectual. Make a video about leaving it though. No, so my plan, all right. Fuck. Yeah, fuck it. 15 more minutes. So here's my ultimate content plan moving forward. 12 months, 6 months, I'm not sure of the time yet. So I'm continuing to do videos for Orion to get that channel up as big as it can. It's growing fast enough that I'm pretty sure it'll outpace this one within like a year, which awesome. Maybe 2. The fiction book, get that one pushed. I'm not sure exactly how to market that within the YouTube ecosystem yet, so I'll figure that out. But and then the podcast, there's plans. I'm not going to spoil the surprise on that one. I plan on making a compilation. So instead of the way it's now, the sidebar videos on here where each video is its own chapter and there's like 500 videos to watch through, I'm going to make those big like 8-hour ones. So just like each book gets its one video. Here's 10 hours practical female psychology. Here's 10 hours on this. And then just like private all the old videos. So it's just like a very clear and concise. So very organized one. Private a lot of like the clip stuff because like we don't really need that anymore. Who really cares? Does paying for YouTube boost your channel's imprints? Well, you pay for impressions. That's the thing. I've only done it the once. And it was interesting. It was interesting to see. So it does not guarantee your video is good, but it promotes it to a larger audience so that if it is good, it'll take off faster. So it's an amplifier, I guess is the best way to put it. It's methane fuel. It's a nitro booster for your car. If your car is a piece of shit, it's not going any faster. So that's an interesting one. But that's the thing. It's a bit of a gamble because if your video's not good, then yeah, you'll get your 10,000 or how many? I'd have to look. I think in the end it only got like 5,000 views from the money, which it's a horrible ROI. But that 5,000 views tapped into an audience that really appreciated it, and then it took off from there. But if the video was shit, it would just get those and then just drop off again. So that's the risk you got to play on pay to win. But yeah, so there's that. Then once I get the sidebar more cleaned up and organized, just private all the other stuff so it's not there. So when you come to this site, in the future, because it's not like dead. It still gets like the sidebar still gets like half of this channel's views every month. So somebody can come here. It's very clean. It's very concise. It's Bob Vila building a house. Great. And like the podcast will stand on their own. The mids watches, the relationship breakdowns, the chick talks, they'll all stand as their own things. And then I'm going to do like a maybe the real red pills, the friends we made along the way video. Just kind of like the best of over the last 6-7 years. Like all the beefs, all the stupidity, all the nonsense, the favorites people, the unfavorite people. That one's just going to be, it's just going to be one day out of nowhere. You're like, what the hell? Ryan did another video and it'll be there. So I think that'll be fun. And then, yeah. So, but the most part, it'll be back to like Minecraft and Project Zomboid videos and movie review stuff and the books. I'll still be on Twitter and all that stuff. But I mean, there's really not much more to Red Pill to talk about. And I don't want to be the only guy doing it. And I don't think it would be good anymore to keep doing that way. Like leave when you're on a high note. Like even now, like this after action report is just looking back. What part worked? What part didn't? Because for all I know, I don't know who's in the chat. Like I know some, I got Nuke in that. And maybe I'll use, actually you know what, Nuke, I'll use you as the example here. There is probably some aspiring YouTuber, hopefully, that's looking at this stuff and learning, not from the content, not thinking I could be the best red pill guy, like not that, but just in the same way that I watched Jordan Peterson, his rise and his fall and his second coming as the benzo addicted, like Daily Wire correspondent, and learn from that meta so that you can carve your own path in whatever branding career you want that doesn't make the mistakes that I make, doesn't make the mistakes that they made, and iterates on it so it's a better process. I think it'd be great. Like I know there's people that looked at the way I've done my newsletter and the Substack, and they're like, oh, I took concepts from that for writing, and I've taken concepts from the videos for this, and then like I know there's people that have grabbed the DaVinci Resolve and learned how to be a professional editor just based on me talking about it for 2 hours, and I'm like, that's great. I love the idea of being just that small bit of influence, that leave the world a bit better than when you left it. Guys that are making crazy good videos right now. And I don't get to take credit for that, which is fine, but just like being an inspiration, I think it's nice. The little meta stuff. Like even Peterson, dude. Benzies, whore daughter clout chasing thing. The beef now, like, yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos watching his rise and fall, the doing coke and trying to sleep with straight, all that stuff. You watch all these guys, and yeah, they got to be popular doing the Andrew Worski, Tucker Max, Mark Manson. You watch all these guys, and then you watched everything they did, and you're like, that was actually effective. And a lot of this stuff was not effective. And just don't do the ineffective stuff. I think it'd be great. I'm looking forward to some Zoomer or young millennial out there is going to create some crazy stuff. I look at it, I'm like, dude, this looks like what I would have done if I was really good at it. I think it'd be awesome. I don't even want to say legacy, because legacy is ultimately like a self-absorbed narcissist term, and it's like, eh. The older MGTOW channels all left a long time ago. They left their philosophy legacy to YouTube. Well, who was all the old ones? That's what I thought with Starburst and Stardust and Turd Flinging Monkey and Clary and what's her face? Karen Strawn. Like I thought those were all the old school guys. Alpha AK $5.01 super chat. Yeah, I talk about Star Wars and guys' dicks. Ryan Stone, social retard. Spetsnaz. I don't know a lot of these guys. That's the thing. Sandman, Stardust, still there. Yeah. Alpha, you made my day, man. That's hilarious. I love that stuff. That's good stuff. Oh man, too funny. So that's where we're going on this one. Anyways, we'll do some bants. I got to do another ad, and then we're going to find out who's doing... oh, yeah, we got a fucking book to sell. Hey, buy this shit.
From the author and content creator that brought you the heartfelt, the F
That's
trophies
me.
for clout, the 6-foot-tall Tate, and the not funniest member of Rule Zero, Volume 2, Dread.
Buy that book. That looks insanely good. There's another one? Holy shit.
I've transformed. I'm charming. I'm good looking and in shape, but bored. I need something to do next. Another challenge to conquer. Please give it to me.
That one looks good too. You should buy both of those books. You guys have been here for 6 years. You haven't bought either one? Try it. You might like it. Look, the super chats, I love the super chats. It's great, a $10 super chat, but for $10 you could have a piece of permanence. You might actually get something from it. I might have actually written it well. And well, I didn't, but Nick edited it really well. You're like, holy shit. It's like Rob. It's like, I grabbed it just because I liked your content and I wanted to support you. And then I'm like, hey, it's actually not half bad. I'm like, sweet. And everyone is better. Ah, dude, the new one, you're going to love it. Still calling it working title The Dog Walker, but I don't know if that's the one I want to take. I probably will. Yeah, here's my shit, buy my shit, give me money. Yeah. You know what? Sometimes just being part of it is helpful. I've done it myself where I'll just throw money at Clary or something just because I'm like, dude, thanks. That was like an hour. And I'm like, he spends 2 hours giving me a video on something I watch. Clary's one of the few guys I actually do watch. He's very, very peaceful, very interesting to watch. I'm like, yeah, of course I'd throw $10 at that. I always just look at it like, what do I spend $10 on? Like coffee, a Frappuccino. How long does a Frappuccino give me enjoyment? 15 minutes. Well, Clary did like 10 times that. So here's a Frappuccino. I like it. Buy the book, support Ryan's fancy food for a sophisticated palate. That's just it, Marty. Like, it's not like it's simple food. When I talk about like a French omelet, there's one ingredient. There's 2 ingredients. There's eggs and butter. That's it. And you're like, oh, fancy. It's like, you know what I mean? But that's kind of how my fanciness works. The fanciness is simplicity. I did a recipe I was playing around with. The same style of French omelet making. But I turned it into an egg McMuffin. I'm like, hey, if I could just do this and then let it set just a little bit longer and then, you know, broil a piece of cheese on top, put it inside of an English muffin, making an egg McMuffin. And I was like, dude, that's like delicious. It was like sloppy Joe consistency. I was like, damn, that's good. The cheese was perfect because it held it in place. You open it up, it's like liquid on the inside. And I was like, holy crap, that's amazing. But it's like the simplest thing ever. The Dog Walker is a brilliant title. That is true. Yeah, of course you'd say that, you damn... I did a show with Cappy last week. We had so much fun. It's been ages. I haven't done one with him in a week either. Or in forever. I should. I'm due. I'm due to go visit him is what I'm due. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck. Yeah, it's a secret to French cuisine. For the most part, it is. It sounds fancy, pomp and circumstance, because French loves to act pomp about it. But for the most part, it's simple ingredients and like not a sophisticated technique, but just kind of there is a technique to it. Which, I mean, for French omelet, the technique is constantly whisking it while it's setting, while it's cooking. Pomme de terre, apples. Well, pomme de terre sounds fancy. Yeah, it's potatoes of the earth or something like that. Or no, apples. Apple of the earth is potato. But you know what I mean? It's like, oh, apples of the earth. That sounds fancy. It's just a fucking potato, dude. Relax. Hey, Consevage. I have all 3. Frame is a must listen. Dude, I am telling you, since you've had and read Fuck Files, when you read The Dog Walker, I think you're going to love it on a whole level more than a person who's never found any of my work prior to. Because there is a lot of really subtle references to Fuck Files that you'll get that kind of just glaze over the other viewer. They're just like little Easter eggs in there. I enjoyed doing them, and I think you'll like it. But you'll also like the fact that even though it's a rewrite of that book, it's like other than those little Easter eggs, you will not recognize it. It is a completely different book. It is a better book. It's a better written book. It's a way better edited book. Thanks, Nick. Much better than that Pakistani man that ruined my first book. Pomp and circumstances makes me think of Macho Man. See, that's not right, because Macho Man said he took it from who the hell did he take it from? Yeah, so it's not his song. He actually forbade people from playing it at his funeral. He's like, it's not meant for me. That's me giving I think it was what the hell was it? Not Donnie Bravo. It was something like Jim Popenoff or something like that. Anyways, he stole he did an homage to that guy, his mentor, and that's why he uses that song in his things. But it was never my song. That's what he always said about it. Isn't that how Gordon Ramsay makes his egg? No, Gordon Ramsay does a little bit different. Yeah, he does that too, but what he does at the end that I do differently is he just takes a bit of sour cream, like cold sour cream, puts a dollop in it at the end to stop the cooking process. And then he'll leave, and the eggs will have more of like a jello consistency, so you almost use it as like a dip, which I can do too. But the way I do it is at the very end, once it gets to that point where it's almost set, I'll add like a slice of cheese. And I found you can either use normal like cheddar cheese or Kraft cheese, like the fake cheese. The difference is if you use the normal cheese, you just be a little more patient with it, and then as it melts and solidifies, it gives like a cheese sauce consistency to the eggs, which I think is far superior. If you use the like the Kraft singles, then you can just beat the shit out of it at that point because you can't separate the thing. So it just gives you more room for error. If you're not a very good cook, use that one instead. Yeah, it's almost like Jell-O, and that's the thing. So if you're one of those guys that hates runny eggs, you'll probably hate it, but mostly for the texture and the mouthfeel. But as a flavor, it's just... And you don't ever want to burn or like brown the egg in this, because as soon as you do that, it loses what makes it good. It really is. You know you're old when you start talking and sharing food recipes. It's not an age thing for me though, man. It was a military thing. Fancy word for that is emulsion, like whipped cream. Yeah, but it doesn't quite... I guess it's sort of... I guess emulsify would be a fair term. Yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it. But it's not that. It's when I was on ship, and I remember this. We were sailing a bunch, and they always had the mess. And that's where you eat, and they had like the buffet hall, and there was always like steamed chicken breasts. And after a while, everybody's morale kind of kits down, and the cook's morale starts to get down, and the food kind of gets shittier. And I remember at the end of the deployment, they switched from like normal bacon, and this is when you knew like everybody hated it because we were there to fight pirates and stop terrorists, and it was just like a money sink. Like we were just there to get promotions for the guys and take $60 million from the coffers and flex on the Americans. It was like such a bullshit tour. But, and then, yeah, the cooks, when their morale went, was when everything kind of went downhill. And at the end, they had that, that frozen bacon, you just microwave it for a minute. Like we got that stuff and it would still be cold in the middle. Like they couldn't even heat microwave bacon. And that's where we were by the end of this trip. Everybody was just so fucking over it. Like, oh, what a surprise. As soon as the film crew got on board, we found a pirate on the radar. Turns out it's just some Indian fisherman chick, and let's piss on his deck and throw his nets around and break all the... And we found like one booze smuggler going to Yemen with like $500,000 with a case of whiskey, and they just break the bottles. Just, yeah, fuck your job, man. How dare you bring booze to there? Because it's illegal. It's like, fuck, whatever. Just praying. Like, we just got to find that one drug ship, man. So then we could be like HMCS Winnipeg and brag about that $60 million drug bust. It's like, yeah, but it's the poppy growing season and it's cyclone season. They're growing the drugs right now. Nobody's trading them. And it's cyclone season, so none of the boats are out smuggling it because they would just sink in this horrible weather that's making us sick. So we're out here while they're growing drugs. They're staying at home and we're out here looking for them. Did you ever wonder why the Americans didn't want to run this op? Why they didn't want to be in charge during this specific time? Doesn't matter. Canada's in charge now. We're running things now. It's like, I can just picture the aircraft carrier too. It's like, all right, whatever. Yeah, man, you got this. Sorry, I'll see you in Dubai. And I think at the time too, it was, we had some beef with the Americans and they closed off Camp Mirage. They're like, no more hanging at Camp Mirage for you guys. You're fucking out of here. So we had to get our own hotel. So we couldn't even have the fun in staying at the American base, which Camp Mirage, if you've never been, is fucking awesome. If you're staying there as a Canadian, it's like better and worse than San Diego. But San Diego, when you're there on base, holy shit, you realize how shitty the Canadian military is. Like they have their own movie theater on base. Just walk in and go watch a movie. You're like, holy shit. Then you get the naval exchange. If you guys have never been to an American military base, go check out the Army and Navy exchange. They have their own shopping mall, a military shopping mall, and it's cheap. Like you would buy 40 ounces of like top shelf liquor for $10. They even put it in like plastic bottles so you don't break it on the ship. It's like, oh, this is wonderful. We had like a stocked minibar in our Scran locker, totally illegal, but we're like, fuck it. And we almost got in trouble once because there was one guy who was a recovering alcoholic who came in and started drinking sherry from the bottle. And we didn't think anything of it. And everybody was like, you realize he's an alcoholic, right? It's like, oh, he was the guy that ended up fighting like over this girl a couple times on the ship and got confined to ship for most of the trip. So, I mean, it's not our fault, but it kind of wasn't not our fault either. But yeah, and you'd buy like clothes and jewelry and whatever. And Americans were just like, yeah, just pay for it at cost. Thank you for your service. And you're like, holy shit. It's just amazing. Nuclear Claudio, Nuclear Claudio, $5 1 cent super chat. Please, no more Navy food mess stories. I'm trying to forget. Yeah, the coffee too. Coffee was shit. That's when I learned that you put salt in your coffee. Like if you put salt in coffee, it turns bad coffee into drinkable coffee, but it won't make good coffee into great coffee. So if you're having to salt your coffee, something's gone seriously wrong. And so I just made, and I was like 25 at the time, and I'm like, you know what? No, I refuse this. And that's like nice bed sheets, nice furniture, nice food, no cheap shit. I'm like, I'm going to sit here and enjoy my life when I don't have to not enjoy it. Because like the same sheets that prisoners get, the blue blanket and the white sheets and the scratchy wool fire blanket. I'm like, no. Yeah. Are you allowed to visit a military base as a non-American civilian? I mean, I was when I was in and sailing there, but I think I'd have to check on this one. But I remember at the time, because we would have orders that allowed us permission to be on the American base. Like the ship would do that as part of its log recs, which is a message that the logistics officer puts in. We need this, requesting permission of this, requiring these like port security, whatever. I don't know if you can just walk up to like San Diego's base with a military ID and they'll let you in. I think you have to have orders for that. But if you know somebody who's in the military, I think they can take you into the next as a guest. You'd have to ask Nuke. I don't know this for sure. But if you happen to be sailing on a warship and you happen to stop in San Diego, stop at the next. Over here in the U.S., we have a Restaurant Depot, which supplies food and equipment for restaurants. I stole a membership and use it frequently. Oh yeah, we do. We have. I think we might have Restaurant Depot, but we definitely have a place that sounds like that. Even just downtown, it's like a couple blocks from my place. They have one. It's like it's a restaurant one, but it's like owned by a Chinese guy, and it's you know those ones that are overly loaded with stuff. It's just so hard to move in because it's so packed with things. It's like a hoarder store. So many things there. Like I've got tons of like restaurant grade Tupperware, utensils, all that shit. It's awesome if you can go that route. Like you don't want to be one of those people that's like, I bought a $500 chef's knife. Like, dude, I got the $10 chef's knife that chefs use. It's got the perfect handle. It's good for food safe, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, why are you wasting your money on a Henkel's logo? It's like, fuck that. Yeah, they got all that stuff. And it's like the most obscure stuff to you, like your proper spider for straining things, the chef style knives, the 1 gallon like Tupperware tubs that are like oven safe, basically. It's just some crazy stuff. So you need military or government ID. Well, I'm assuming you need American government ID to get on a base. Which sucks, because somewhere around here, I can't remember if somebody stole my wallet or not, but I still might have my veterans card somewhere. They don't give those out anymore in Canada, which sucks, but... Okay, so you do need an American government ID. Anyways, a military member can sponsor a civilian if the FP Con allows. Oh, Force Protection... What's that? Force Protection Con? Or Force Protection CO Naval. I don't know what the acronym is. Anyways, Silver Bishop, $5. One heartfelt to you, Couch. I might have a short field report for the next Patreon. Well, I mean, like I said, it's for you. You know what? I'm going to springboard off of this. Thank you, by the way. Yes, sounds good. It's funny. So a lot of the discussion in the Patreon revolves around field reports, and there's a couple little things. I guess this, like, take this for what it's worth when you're doing your own work on your own self. But some guys, like, their first field report is a very standard one. A guy will write a long diatribe about why he's here, where he's at, blah, blah, blah. It's like a really convoluted story, no real details. And you have to like get him to format that into OODA loops. What is it you're even trying to do? Like if you read somebody's field report and it's more than a page long and you don't know what they're attempting, then you know that's where the work is like you have zero focus, no frame. You have no vision for what you're trying to accomplish. Start with that. And then you kind of break down what specific elements of that he may be having trouble with or doesn't know or didn't even think to apply. Another one is guys that think that just writing the field report is the benefit. It's like, it's not. And those are the ones that'll just write as if it's like a Dear Diary journal, right? Well, yesterday I did this, today I did this, tomorrow I do this, and I'm happy and I need to do this in the future. It's like, that doesn't do anything. That's what you would write is if you want me to give you like a good job, man, very alpha today. It's like, that doesn't work either. It doesn't matter. And they'll skip a lot of details, but like, why is this important? That's another question I ask a lot. Like, this detail here, why does this matter? Why did you write this in there? Do you know why? And sometimes there's a really good reason. Well, I wrote this in here because my goal here is to stop getting into stupid fights with the wife. So here's a point where and it's like a really short one, you know, she picked a fight. I said whatever, and it went back to my day. Very short, very succinct. Why did you write it? But he knows why he wrote it, and that's why it works. But other guys don't know why they wrote it. It's like, why did you write that? I don't know. Or they make up a reason afterwards, and that's when you realize, okay, so don't worry about your ego. I always make sure that you know that. It's like, I'm not judging here. Not because this is a judgment-free zone and we have a safe space, but because it's like, it's not productive. It doesn't solve your problems. To sit here and have me go, it's okay, man. It's like, it doesn't do anything. It's just one of those interesting things. And then some guys too, it's like they think just by writing the field report, it fixes. And so they write as many as they can. And they're fighting to find something. And it's okay if you go a week without practicing agree and amplify with your wife. Or it's okay to go a week and you're like, you know what, this week I'm not in the mood to fuck my wife. I just wanted to go work out instead. And they just do that instead. And they treat that like a failure point. It's not. You're allowed to decide things. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to put, yeah, your goal was to have more sex, but this week you're not feeling it. You're not feeling it. It's not a fail state. You made a decision. You're owning it. Now, if you bitched about the consequences of that, that's another thing. But yeah. But it's nice. So I like seeing when a guy goes from a very verbose first week field report where it's like, woe is me, my wife's a bitch, my wife is this, my wife is this. You don't even know about the guy, you know more about the wife. You're like, well, put her on the line next time if you're going to talk about her, because I don't do female field reports anyway. And then you get from that to like a 3-sentence field report where you know it's like hyper focused on what he is trying to accomplish. Avoid a conflict. How not to talk his wife out of sex when she's in the mood and he just has to have some good game. You know, I attempted this. Or I'm trying to go for this goal. I did X, Y, and Z. Worked out well. Next time, maybe I'll do it more. Or it didn't work, but I know why. I'm like, those are perfect. Ultimately, it's great. Oh, that's the other thing too. So I'm keeping that up I don't plan on taking it down. It's not about the money, that one. That one is just truly like good work. I enjoy it. I find it satisfying. It's like my military career. Probably the most satisfying posting I had in the military was being a teacher at fleet school. It wasn't you'd think it'd be the deployment. Yeah, I'm going pirate hunting and this. And it's like, no. You think it'd be, the sailing schedule and we're sailing a bunch. It's like, no, they were all mostly waste of time. But like the fleet school was the one time where I actually could look at my hands at the end of the day and like, I built something. This guy is a better sailor because of me, or this guy got through a lot of like personal trouble because of me, or this guy found his wife after I fucked her. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So Nonstop Dre, $2. Do you plan on analyzing field reports forever? Well, it's not even analyzing field reports. I'm teaching guys how to analyze their own field reports. And I don't know if forever, like nothing's forever. But I have no plans in the short term to move that anywhere. And if I do, that'll probably be like a year's heads up when I let people know. What most likely will happen though, is my guess is, because right now it started at $5 a month. I'm like, whatever, don't really care. And then too many people kind of got in. It took too much time, so I upped it to 10. Then I upped it to 15. And now it's kind of at a nice pace where like I like where it's at. And I would assume eventually guys are going to start to drop off because, you've moved on. You've gotten what you need. You're getting out of there. You don't need to do any more. It's eventually. And then just kind of let it go off and do its thing. Or I become like so busy or famous or like, his Orion channel's making like $100,000 a month. I'm like, guys, I have to end this. Like I have to focus on this stuff a little harder now. But I mean, the odds of that happening are pretty slim too. So whatever. Yeah, well, I'm still grandfathered at $5. Exactly. Yeah. I got no problems with that. Early adopters, I'm like, fuck it, you guys. Too many people look at it, I think. Too many people look at the red pill as like, this is how I can make $1 million. It's like, no, bills are paid. I don't need the money. And I like the idea of people early on like giving back. And it just like the idea of like, you can have it for dirt cheap. You have it for fucking pennies on the dollar. Good enough for me. You were there at the beginning when nobody believed in it. So I'm like, why wouldn't I do that? Like, I'm still trying to find a way. I can't figure it out. Amazon used to give like gift ebooks and they don't now. I'm like, I would like the idea of giving everybody who subscribes to the Patreon and everybody subscribes to the Substack like a free book. But I don't know, I'll figure that one out. But that's for you guys. Anyways, rule 0 is going to be, was it Nuke? I think it was Nuke. Saw the thing. I didn't pay attention. Let's find his chummy here. Oh, there it is. Male neuroticism. Oh, that one should be fun. I'm going to try my best to slip in there. I think I'm good, unless... It all depends on the social calendar, but as it stands now, I think I'm good. So we'll see you guys there for a bit. The male neuroticism, obviously huge. I think a lot of guys will benefit from it anyway. So go check it out. Do what you do. The red pill is 100% free. Any money I get's appreciated. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, stop by. Well, I mean, yeah. I feel bad. That one time when Jack, everybody's schedule kind of didn't work out, so he had to carry the show by himself. I'm like, yeah, poor bastard. I know that feeling. And maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe the guy who does, the guy that did the spreadsheet of how many times everybody's hosted, maybe we'll find out like you or Jack or whoever is actually finally like top 3 on the list again. Because I remember that was like the craziest thing when he did that the one day and he showed out of like all 5 of us who's hosted the much. It was like me and then Rolo and then Rich and then John, I think it was. And I was like, holy shit, have I really hosted like 60% of these fucking shows? That's why I kind of like watching Nuke and Jack and them do their thing now. So I'm like, good for you guys. Get those reps in. I keep my subscription because of the value I get, and the grandfathered price makes it a good deal for a long time. Yeah. Like I said, that one's not so much about the money. The money there is mostly as a quality control mechanism, I found. Because I've tried it before where it's just, yeah, come in, do whatever. But as soon as you make it free, you get free like you get what you pay for. So I'm like, if I threw a couple bucks, and I always use the Starbucks metric, like what would somebody pay for a Starbucks coffee on an impulse buy? It's like $5-6. So I try to price everything that's subscription wise there. I'm like, good. Like fundamentally, I want somebody to look at this as like, would this be a better use of my time than getting a Starbucks today, the Starbucks this month? And if they could say yes to that, I'm like, I can live with that. That's valuable enough for me. Better than a Frappuccino on the 15th. All right, I can do that. Dre, what's your stop with this space? Did it change? No, it didn't change. My goal with this space, I think I've talked about this a bunch. It was a 5-year plan. I had a 5-year plan of all of the content I wanted to do and the things I wanted to achieve. As far as size was secondary to getting the content curated to the point where I was happy with it. It was a breakdown of the sidebar, the books, essays, the posts. There's a couple things on there, but I'm like, I don't think I really need them. I've caught the main points, and at that point, I would just be nitpicking about small details. There was getting that out there. There was about me developing, the ability to make and produce a video. The Mids Watches was a series where I liked the idea of going through, and that's almost like a history lesson where you guys get your own way of walking through how I walked through the subreddit. Like that's kind of a culmination of 6 years of digesting red pill stuff daily, a best of. So for those 127 episodes, you both get to learn as much as I did at the same level I did in a much more compressed way. And then at the end, not thinking that that's some intellectual space of peer or something like, it's just like, it's a bunch of dudes talking about their dicks. Like there's value from it, but don't make it more than it is. And so there was that. The podcast here is to mostly like to draw attention to get stuff to practice and hone the ideas and figure them out, and then get the books out. All the red pill stuff, the fuck files, frame, and dread. Those were like that was the big thing I wanted to produce out of this too. Some method of permanence while the internet slowly degrades the red pill stuff away. So all that stuff is done now. And that's why I've been having these like the last episodes are like kind of after action report, or somebody said it was like hanging out with the principal before school's out because, everybody's already passed for the year and it doesn't matter. You're just running out the clock. It's kind of like that. Yeah. Nowadays, Starbucks drinks are $7. That's true. But maybe I should blame it on Trudeau's inflation. Like, yeah, fuck Trudeau. Here's an extra $2. Thanks, sir. Yeah, so that was the plan for this. And now I was not aimless, but I was thinking about it for a bit. Well, what do I do now for the next 5 years? And that's large. Now I've got a new 5-year plan, and that's where like the fiction books come in, the Orion things coming in. If you notice, there's always like a system here. The content's changed, Substack, like switching that over from middle marketing funnel activity for the Dread and Frame to a middle and bottom marketing funnel for Dog Walker and fiction work. That works. So everything's going to advance and move on. And some of you guys will drop off. I've got what I wanted. I'm happy. And I'm grateful for the time you spent here. And some of you guys will like be interested in the new thing. And you'll join that. And that'll be great too. Some of you will be like brand new. There'll be some new people. There might even be chicks that like reading this fucking book. My audience will go from 99% men and 1% women, which kudos to you 6 ladies. I think I know you all by name. It'll go from that to like maybe 20% chicks, and it'll be a different type of space, but it'll be good in its own way and have its own issues and whatever. So yeah. Nonstop Dre, $2. A show with you and the Thinking Ape would be cool. I don't know who that is, but I'm skeptical. Before I say anything, let me take a quick look. The Thinking Ape. I would assume he's on YouTube. That seems like a YouTube handle. Is this the guy, Mike Mal? Is it Mike Mal or is that somebody else? He's got to be some MGTOW guy or something. Oh, never mind. That one makes more sense. Yeah, funnily enough, there's a couple one. All right, so let me see what I got here. Let's take a quick look through the first page of videos on his thing, and I'll let you know exactly my answer on this one. The truth about the 4B movement, the women pipeline, what exactly did you win with Trump? The real wisdom men are being left behind. No, I don't see this one going so hot. I don't think we're a good match. He's like every other... To me, he's like every other Tyler the Fiend or like those MGTOW ones. It's mostly just clickbait opinion things. You know what it really is? Do you guys know who Charlie is? The Moist Critical guy or whatever his name is now. He's like another Charlie or an Asmongold. Like here's my opinions and that's it. He's like TFM without the sex dolls. Yeah, I just don't like the idea of like my opinions being the monetizable product. I have an opinion and you can like it. I don't find that sustainable. I'm actually surprised people still do it because that's the problem. Like Charlie with his thing was a perfect example of that. When he had curated opinions, he did really well. Everybody loved his stuff. But that was the thing. If you watched his videos, he never actually had an opinion. He would describe what he saw. And then he would have a very middle of the road non-opinion, but that sounded authoritative. It's that slop. It's the same as when I used to tell you guys about how you'd watch like somebody and you're like, oh, you got to watch this video from Jordan Peterson or whoever. It's like really smart. You're going to learn a lot. You're like, oh, really? What did you learn from it? And then you realize you just watched a video and you felt smart, but you can't articulate a single thing from it. And it wasn't that it actually was a smart video. It made you feel smart. Maybe I'm wrong. This is just what I get from looking at 12 thumbnails and subject titles and like guessing based on what other people do. But I'm guessing this is a very similar thing. Or he has his 1 or 2 opinions that he force feeds into everything. Either one. And I'm just like, it's not for me. Because that's why I bring up Charlie, because that was his problem. Then he went and had like a debate with Sneeko, I guess, which, what the fuck are you talking? Like, I'm getting to the point. Relax. Where they were just sitting there. And then he got into some framing thing where Sneeko was trying to do some false equivalency between like women in bathrooms and like that shit, right? And then Critical's like, yeah, well, I mean, if adults want to cut their dicks, but kids, and it's like, and the whole opinion was just so off-putting, and you realize like he's not good thinking on the fly. He has to think of a non-opinion and say a non-opinion. Has to be very bland, has to be inoffensive. But then as soon as he had to think about something, as soon as he had to adapt and use his own thoughts, you realize there's no moral core to that. There's no, like how Bill Burr, he always says about his stuff. It's like, look, you like me or you hate me, but that's fine. But you always know my content. And I'm very like, I abide by what I believe in, which is absolutely true because you see it. He's the only guy I've ever seen, which is absolutely funny, where like liberals are like, he's great, fuck those conservatives. And then every now and then he'll say something, the conservatives are like, look at this, even the liberal thinks this way. They're not all stupid. And you guys are idiots. Which is just a guy who has his own moral center, which you don't agree with it or not, but at least it seems somewhat consistent. Yeah, Charlie's strength is evocative descriptions of things. And I just wouldn't be a good pairing with that because for me, I don't enjoy that sort of kayfabe. Give him a few years, yeah. Maybe he can start a channel after a few years when he's actually got this sorted out. Yeah, it's not for me. He seems nice enough, though. I mean, he's popular, so good for him. Not for me. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this one. Let's make fun of Pat Stedman.
I can tell you that if it is that way, you have to conclude that Trump betrayed us. In your heart, do you believe that Trump betrayed you? Some people are saying that. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I don't feel it.
That fucking guy. Look at this fucking guy.
We got to start to focus on the more important stuff now. We got to shift gears here. I don't want to do these pissing contests and, well, you know, people keep throwing out this bet. I mean, you guys all know this stuff already. I mean, Colty never accepted it. Colty's just like a piece of shit. I mean, basically that's what it is. He's a piece of shit. And if people want to question my honor and integrity, that's okay. Most of the people who do this stuff don't have any integrity. I'm not deleting my account because of that guy, Seth. I broke those contracts about a week and a half ago. And whatever, people are going to get pissed off at me. I don't care if they're going to get pissed off at me.
I got one more, and then I'm done.
It was a...
Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Where is this stupid women shower every day one? Oh, there she is. The classic.
I love the way girls smell. I love how they always make sure, by and large, they shower. And they just have an amazing smell to them in general.
Anyways, we're going to end, but Sluggo has actually a very good point at the end, and we'll end on this one. Too many YouTube guys get their books ghostwritten. I think Peterson actually wrote his, so I appreciate that. Hopefully without the advice of his daughter like his other content. Yeah. I still haven't read it. I've got it here, and I used it for ads, but I was like, I remember reading through one of the chapters, and I was just like, what the fuck? It just seemed very bland, generic. But I guess if you want to appeal to the mass market type stuff, you kind of have to beige your walls in order to sell your house, you know? So like I kind of get it too. But yeah, the ghostwritten stuff, I can't stand that shit. It's kind of like how top 40 music is all written by the same songwriter since 1986. Like one guy has made every popular song you know of right now for the last 30 years or 50 years or however much. I don't like that stuff. It's generic. It's not written well. I mean, it's written competently in the same way that Taco Bell is a competent burrito, but it's not any good. You make a breakfast burrito that tastes good. You can make like a fermented salsa burrito that tastes really good, but you're never going to get those at Taco Bell. And you may like it, you may not like it, but at least it's got a flavor. At least its flavor is not sadness. Yeah, she runs all of his stuff. Anyways, enough. I don't want to start shitting on Peterson and whatever. I think I've made fun of enough people. Let's get ready for Rule 0. Cheers, boys.
'79T 2458 Learning Corp. Little Red Riding Hood. Take one.